Hey friends, welcome to my kitchen today. If you're new here, I'm Peggy. I'm a Christian homeschooling, homemaking mom of 7. And on my channel, you'll find videos about homemaking, homeschooling, and family discipleship. Today, I'm joining the 3 Rivers Pantry Challenge. So thanks to Jessica at 3 Rivers Homestead for getting this organized, something she does every year. I'm excited to join it this year. I've done it years in the past, but I haven't put anything on my channel, so I'm excited to do that this year. So I'm going to show you first in this video what I'm working with and some ideas that I have for some meals that I can make. My plan is to avoid going to the grocery store as much as possible. I'm not going to go to Costco, which I love to go and stock up on things. I'm going to try to eat down a lot of our current reserves. And I'm just going to go to my smaller grocery store as needed. We also have a raw milk pickup that we do every Tuesday, so we'll still be getting that. But I'm going to try to only buy some produce as needed and try not to buy too much else. So if we can do $300 or $400 worth of groceries for a month, that would be a huge savings for us, because it's usually a lot more than that we spend. So from the middle of January now until the middle of February, I'm going to use those weeks to try to avoid the grocery store as much as possible. So let me show you what I've got going on and start thinking about some of the meals that I can make. All right, you might be able to hear my dishwasher because it's right here, but the reason that we're doing this pantry challenge is to save money, because we have things that we need for our family. We need a larger vehicle. We currently have to take 2 vehicles places, so we need a larger van. And we also need to purchase bunk beds and mattresses for our children, because we have to make our current situation work and make sure that everyone has a bed and everything. Everyone has a bed right now, but we have the baby in a mini crib and we need to move her to a regular crib, and we only have 2 of those. So we need to move one boy out of a crib and into a regular bed. And we're gonna do a bunk bed, like a quad bunk situation. We have 7 children, ages 8 all the way down to 8 months old. So that's what we're working with. We have a pretty small home and we have 1 bathroom. So we're trying to make things work the best we can. We know eventually there's gonna have to be a move at some point. So we're going to take it one day at a time though. Right now, those are the 2 things that we need to save money for. So that's part of the reason why we're doing this pantry challenge. And also, a lot of stuff gets lost, and I'll show you my pantry situation. I don't really have a pantry. I have a cabinet, a couple of cabinets, and they kind of work as my pantry, but they really need to be organized. I'm constantly reorganizing them, so I need to figure out a better system for that, and I need to make sure that things are not getting lost and not used. So I'll show you what I'm working with here. So this is what we've got. We've got a good bit of things that we wouldn't normally have left over from Christmas, like this we don't normally have, and this is like a summer sausage thing, so we don't typically have that. And then this we don't usually have, but we were making, you know, some treats and stuff at Christmas time. But this cabinet is a big mess, so it needs to be cleaned out. And I need to go through and figure out if anything is expired or what I can use. I might make some different little treats and stuff for the kids to use up some of the treat type things that are in here. You can see, you know, marshmallows and rice checks and graham crackers. These are things that we don't normally have, but we had them at Christmas time, so we need to use up whatever is left. And I need to clean and organize this cabinet, which functions as kind of a pantry for me. Behind this, a few home canned things. This is where I keep those. So I need to look through that and see what is left here of my home canned things and take care of making a plan for how I'm going to use those up. So I have, let's see, this is marmalade. A year ago with the oranges in our orange tree, and this is strawberry preserves from strawberry season, and then this is some applesauce, home canned applesauce from apples that my parents brought us from Tennessee. So I have a few others back there, but everything is one of these three things probably, because I've used everything else that I've home canned. So that's pretty good, but you know, I would like to can a lot more, but I have to have space for that. So over here in my Instant Pot, I've got some bone broth going. So when that finishes, I have a couple batches of that I need to make and get that canned. So that will need to go in this cabinet too. So I have to make some room for that. Oh, this is such a mess. But on top of this cabinet, I need to clean this up also. I've just got some lemons and some tomatoes there. But I need to give this a good wipe down, and our snack basket and treat basket go up here also. So I've got to get those cleaned out. Instant Pot that's working on my bone broth, chicken bone broth. And this cabinet is also used like a pantry. So I have a lot of spices, but you can see it's pretty disheveled. So I need to do a lot of organizing here. But I've got like some grains, vinegars, lots of spices, some dried beans and things. So this all needs to come out and get organized much better. This is my last little pantry section that's over in this corner. So I've got a few buckets that have rice, flour, sugar, coffee, and then this coconut oil over here. And then in this cabinet, this is like baking type things. So it's got like chocolate chips and vanilla, lots of baking items. And then under here is a little bit more baking items: sugar, coconut sugar, peanuts for making peanut butter. And this side, we've got oats and things, a little bit more flour. So that's what we're working with. Need to organize all of that. All right, that's everything pantry. Well, no, outside in the garage. This is our garage, a very small one-car garage for a 1950s house. But this is our garage refrigerator and small freezer. This is kind of my extra pantry stuff. And then this is our deep freezer. So this is what I've got up here. A lot of Rice Chex and Rice Krispies. So I can see some treats like Muddy Buddies and stuff in my future, and some Rice Krispie treats. That's pretty much all we use that for. Tortilla chips, some tuna. This is for the baby. This was soup that someone gave us when we were sick. So we have quite a lot of ramen. We can have that for lunch sometimes. I bought quite a lot of ramen just as kind of an emergency food, and you know, that's okay. I can use it now for the pantry challenge. And then I've got, this is these bags have baby food for the baby. But then I've got some little spices here, some tomato paste, a few other things, ingredients, some pita chips, chickpea pasta, some crackers. Back here behind the ramen, there's some, let's see if I can get it to focus, but there's some pineapple chunks, canned pineapple back there. So then, let's see, a lot of pita chips that someone graciously gave us. And then I've got a little bit of pasta down here, and there's a lot more Rice Krispies cereal there. I guess I was planning to make a ton of Rice Krispie treats, and that just hasn't happened. But I know some people that eat that like for breakfast and stuff, so I may end up giving some of that away. but this is my last little pantry type section. And so this gives me some ideas of some things I can make. And now I'll show you what's in the freezer. So this is my inside freezer. So I'll show you what's in here and kind of what the current plan is for using it up, and start thinking about what else I can use that's in here. All right, here's what we got in here. A bunch of dry yeast, which will be great for bread and stuff. So not really worried about that. Lots of garlic, not really worried about that. These popsicles have been in here for a while, so those can be a treat to get eaten up. So has this frozen yogurt that's been in there a while, so that needs to be eaten. I have a whole lot of nuts, pecans, almonds, and some walnuts here. So there's some treats and things I can make that will include a lot of those nuts. Those definitely will need to be used up. Under that, these tater tots are going with a hot dog supper that I'm gonna make sometime soon, that needs to be used up. These pie crusts I made recently, so I'm not really worried about that. I have a couple of frozen like lunches that I made for Andy, so he needs to take those to work and eat those up. Those definitely need to be used up. I've got some frozen mixed vegetables, so I see chicken pot pie and shepherd's pie probably in my future. These are ghost peppers. I'm planning to make a hot sauce, so I might use those for that. I don't know. These are some steaks from our the farmer that we bought a whole bunch of meat from, half a cow. So I'll probably make steak tacos or something with that, because I have a lot of these smaller, I know they're filet mignon, but we'll probably just grill them and turn them into steak tacos. That's the best way that my family can eat them, probably. So we've got some, we've got,
I think I'm gonna get the meal.
okay. Yeah. Okay, we've got like one pancake here that could be someone's breakfast. So I'm gonna put that somewhere where I can see it a little better. And then, let's see what else. I've got some little egg muffins that need to be eaten. And these are sourdough bread cubes for like dressing or stuffing, things like that. So I can use that for some kind of dinner. And here we've got some frozen pork, I believe. Yeah, this is frozen pork, smoked pork. When we smoke a pork butt, we tend to have a lot left, and I end up freezing it. So I can use that. I can make some tacos. I can make some quesadillas with that. So those are some ideas. This is ice bag for boo-boos. And here in this part, it's so funny because it says indoor pizza storage. And I've seen a lot of people have this also, but we don't really do frozen pizzas. So for me, this is indoor smoothie storage. So I use this little drawer to hold berries and frozen spinach and frozen bananas and things like that. So all that is fine. That will get used up. I've been holding my freezer door too long. So this whole section is for bone broth. So there are chicken frames, there's some bones for beef broth. So all that's here. Plus then I have a whole bunch of daddle peppers that I need to use up to make a hot sauce. So I need to put that on my list of things to do. And then I have some more pork here. So lots of pork things. This was something that the girls got from the ice cream truck for Daddy, and he hasn't eaten it yet. So we'll have to make sure he knows about that. But that's all in my inside freezer. Okay, garage freezer. we need to clean this out too. So as it gets emptied out, I'm gonna wipe it down and stuff because it needs it. But we've got these puff pastry sheets, which I just learned to make puff pastry. So I'm excited to be making my own, but I can still use this for something else. And then these are both frozen peas. This is some ground sausage, some fudge bars for a treat. We've got these hot dogs. This was my emergency meal that I had put in the freezer just in case. It's hot dogs, and then the buns are right here. So if we have an overwhelming day or a busy day, I can just pull all of that out. This is more smoked pork that we did recently. So clearly I have a lot of that I need to go through. I have 2 things of naan bread, which that's one of the bread things that I tend to buy. And so I'm gonna be learning to make that this year. I've already found a recipe, so I'm gonna be working on that. This is a bunch of pig lard. So I'm going to be getting that processed so that we can have lots of that good fat, but I'm not ready to do that today. So I'm keeping that in the freezer for now. This is my deep freezer here, and it will also need to be cleaned and everything once we empty it. So this is beef tongue. Need to use that up, make some tacos or something. See a lot of taco nights coming up. This is soup bones, so beef broth and such. Probably some kind of soup, and then use the bones for the broth. Pecans, these are good. I haven't had these too long, so not worried about that. I have a couple of pork tenderloins, so I can use those up. A few things of chicken breast, and then I have a couple blocks of Monterey Jack cheese, so I can use those up also. And this freezer is starting to get emptied out, so it's a good thing. I have this Asian vegetable mix, so I can see probably some Thai curry and some stir fry that I can make with that. Some collard greens, can make that as a side or make grits and greens breakfast casserole that I like to make. This is pork belly, so Andy can put that on the smoker and we can have that. More greens for a side. Yeah, for a side. One can be for grits and greens and one can be for a side for something. This is probably 3 portions worth of greens, so it's good to know. More mixed vegetables, so I can make more shepherd's pie and chicken pot pies. More mixed vegetables. Then this is 2 things of spaghetti sauce. So another easy meal. I just will have to thaw this out and warm it up and then make the noodles to go with it. So easy freezer meal there. Then down here, I've got 1 chuck roast left that I need to use up. I have some beef flank steak. So I remember getting that for tacos specifically. So we're gonna just have a lot of tacos. And then back here, if you have another suggestion, you let me know. Tacos and fajitas seem to be something that's gonna be common. Then I have a lot of beef liver back here. I'm gonna be thawing that out and mixing it with my ground beef. Then I have some shrimp. Of course, Florida girl has to have some shrimp. So I have several pounds. Each of these is 2 pounds, I think. Is that right? Yeah, 2 pounds. So 2, 4, 6, 8 pounds of shrimp. I have some shrimp salad that I made with one of these recently, so I'll need to eat that up, but I can use these to make jambalaya, to make some kind of pasta, things like that. So I'll work on figuring out what to make for that. And then we have some more soup. This is butternut squash soup, and this is chili. So that'll be another easy night. I can just make bread to go with it, and we can have an easy dinner. I have half of a turkey here. And then I have some more frozen berries, strawberries and blueberries back there. That's for smoothies and such. We like to do a lot of smoothies. Then down here, this really needs to be cleaned. That's all right. So this is another pork butt. Clearly I don't need to cook this right away. This is pretty new, so I'm not really worried about that either, but I have a ton of already cooked pork that I can use to put in things. And then I have a whole chicken back there. I usually have a lot more of those, but we've eaten that down, so I have one left. I have 3 pounds of these lean ground beef that have that, and then these are 3 pounds of ground beef. That's all of the ground beef that I have left from our half a cow. So I'm gonna get all of this out of here so that I can get that cleaned up and looking much better. So that's what I'm working with for freezers. I'm going to show you the refrigerators. So first is the garage refrigerator, and there's not a whole lot left in there, and it really needs to be cleaned out also, so we'll get that taken care of, but I'll show you what's in there. All right, so we got some pears. This oat milk, I don't drink oat milk anymore. I can explain that to you, but it doesn't matter. But those are expired, so we need to get rid of those. But I have some bread, something else I'm working on this year, to not purchase bread items. So I'm going to make some sandwich bread. So this is the last one that we have. And then we have, this one is smashed avocado for avocado toast or other things that can have avocado. And then some apples and some lemons, plenty of those. Then I've got just a little bit of maple syrup left. I'm gonna need to reorder, but not during this challenge. And then this is our raw milk, and we get an order of that every Tuesday because we go through quite a bit of it, especially with a lot of young children. This is some supper leftovers that we'll have one night. This was beef bulgogi and broccoli and some rice. That is some guacamole, little guacamole cups. I find that it's better to do it that way, like for taco night and stuff, because less of it gets wasted. So we have that, we have some water. And then I have a whole bunch of baby carrots in there. And then we have one thing of eggs. Our chickens are just getting started with laying, so we're not getting a ton of eggs right now. So we are going to need that. And yeah, this refrigerator just really needs to be cleaned out and wiped down. So I will be doing that, and we'll get it all emptied out and get everything eaten up. Okay, last is the inside refrigerator. So I'll show you what's in there, and then you'll have seen everything that I'm working with. And then I'll tell you some of the ideas that I have to make with all of this. And then I'll tell you what we're having for supper tonight. All right, here's what we've got. So this is the shrimp salad I was telling you about. So that can be a lunchy kind of thing. This is some bulgogi leftovers for Andy's lunch, probably for tomorrow. A little bit of ketchup, a little bit of yogurt, a little bit of cream. You know, we can use all this up. This quinoa. This is some quinoa and spinach that I made. And let's see, I've got something canned back there and some baby food. Some tea. I've been making tea, but Andy gave me a little break and went and bought some tea for us the other day. So that was good. This is some delicious cake that we had on our date night recently that needs to be eaten up. So I'll see if the kids and I can split that today. And then this is some really good tzatziki from Costco, but there's not a whole lot left, but that needs to be eaten up also. And people's milk cups. This is ginger ale. You know, it's very fancy ginger ale. So that needs to be drank up. And then this is fresh ginger and fresh turmeric from a neighbor. So I need to process those. Okay. Then we've got some couple of waffles that Andy made over the weekend, and some breakfast casserole. So that's breakfast items that will need to be eaten before I make something else. I've got some sour cream, some more baby food, some salad lettuce, some salsa, some corn tortillas, queso. This is my sourdough starter. This is tallow, beef tallow, eggs, and then I have 2 things of butter crunch lettuce. So Ow. So we could do some kind of salad pretty soon. Move that, it's falling. This drawer, we've got some more of that ginger and turmeric from my neighbor, some spring onions, some carrots, some apples. This drawer needs to be wiped down good too. A little bit of dill and some sweet peppers. So definitely could do some curry. The dill makes me think of, well, I used it for the shrimp salad, but it could be used in stroganoff, and I think I have everything that I could make that also. The cheese drawer here, I've got a good bit of cheese and random Chick-fil-A sauce, which we won't be having any of that. We can have the sauce, but we won't be going to Chick-fil-A. Yeah, I've got several different cheeses here. I've got some mozzarella so I can make some pizza. Cheeses for grilled cheese, for shepherd's pie on the top. I've got a little more, oh, I have feta. I didn't realize that. Probably need to use that up. Okay, great. April. Awesome. So that's good to know. I didn't realize I had that, so excited about that. Still got a little bit of Parmesan for some pasta. And then I've got some lentils back here, and I'm planning to use that soon with some of that beef. I'm gonna make a beef and lentil soup. And then in this drawer, I have some leftover chicken pieces from a roasted chicken. And then this is from the other roasted chicken that I already pulled the meat off of the bone. So this will be chicken pot pie. Probably both of these will go into some chicken pot pies that I'll freeze, and that'll use up a lot of those mixed vegetables. Then I've got some chicken breasts and some chicken thighs, and these will be curries probably. I'll probably do a curry so I can use up a lot of those frozen vegetables and some of the peppers in here, some of the ginger and all that. That sounds like a good plan. Over here, pickles, kimchi. This is apple butter. This is some chicken bone broth. And then we've got a few like condiments and things. This is sourdough starter, also the smaller version. And then that's our maple syrup, some jam, you know, a few condiments, not a whole lot. When you live in Florida, you get a lot of sunburns, so you got to keep this in the fridge. And then this is all the butter I have left, which breaks my heart. I would really like to get back to Costco and get some, but not during the pantry challenge. I'm gonna try to hold off on that. Dinner tonight is gonna be some salmon patties. I have a bunch of canned salmon, but just like one stack of the cans, which would be for one dinner basically for us. So I'm gonna make salmon patties, and then that quinoa and spinach that I had made, I'm gonna heat that up, and that will be the side to go with the salmon patties. And then I'm gonna roast some carrots, and that'll be our other side for that. So that'll use up those things. Then tomorrow, which is Tuesday, we will have Taco Tuesday. It's gonna be Taco Tuesday a lot because I have a lot of stuff that I can use to make tacos. I have shredded pork, I have some chicken, I have some steak. I have a lot of things that I can make tacos with. So we will be having tacos Tuesday night. Wednesday, we'll have that beef and lentil soup and some bread. I have someone that's wanting to show you something. So the beef and lentil soup and some bread, we'll have that, and that'll use up that pack of lentils that I had. And then Thursday, we'll have Thai coconut curry and rice. I had some cans of coconut milk that I found outside in my little pantry area in the garage. So I'll be able to use that up. And I have some red Thai curry paste, so I can use that up in that also and make that. And then Friday we'll have chicken parmesan and spaghetti. I have a good bit of spaghetti noodles that I need to use up, so we'll use that up then. Saturday we'll have leftovers because there will certainly be some. And then Sunday we will have pork quesadillas. It'll be really easy, quick and easy to make after church. So that's the plan for this week for the pantry challenge. So I don't need to go to the grocery store. I'm making sure that I'm telling myself that I don't need to go to the grocery store. I've got it. it's good, okay? So thanks for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed this, and I'll see you next time.